Welcome back to Economics and Comics. I'm Bill, and this is Joel from GoneWithTheTwins.com.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We got to see Charlie's Angels. Is a little light if you maybe want to reposition. So we got to see Charlie's Angels. Well, Joel, take it away.
I loved this movie. No, I'm kidding. I know that you did not exactly enjoy this one. But this is the 2019 version of Charlie's Angels. It's not really I didn't feel like it was a continuation. It didn't really feel too much like a remake. It's almost as if the Angels, the program under the I already forgot the name of the agency, Townsend Agency. It's as if they've just been doing this for many decades now, and so this is just the newest
team
group of angels that have been trained. And in this one, it starts with only two. Sabina, which is Kristen Stewart, and Jane, who's played by Ella Balinska, something like that. Anyways, so the film starts with it's a kind of it's a formula we're familiar with. It's just sort of a James Bond setup where there's a lot of globe-trotting, changing locations a lot, and a bit of spy work, a bit of there's a bit of a whistleblower type thing going on where they have to protect and infiltration and espionage and all that kind of stuff. But the basic premise is that there's this girl named Elena who works for a sort of a power tech company, and they've created a new what's called that? Just a new device, I guess. It's almost like a little Amazon Echo or something, but it's supposedly it's a new form of power or energy that will revolutionize the industry. But one of the engineer who worked on it, Elena, played by Naomi Scott, she found a flaw in the design, and it can be hacked and be used for nefarious purposes. So she tries to tell the company, the Brock Industries, and the owner that there's this flaw and that there's a problem, but nobody will listen to her. So she ends up confronting or enlisting the aid of the Charlie's Angels to help her, as a whistleblower, sort of to get out the news that there's help her solve this problem that she's had. And immediately she's targeted by an assassin, and then they have to try and protect her. And from there it goes to the sort of shenanigans we're used to in these kind of films. So. Take it away, Bill.
This was the worst Charlie's Angel movie I've ever seen. Every single Charlie, even the TV show, was better than this. Maybe that's what they were going for, because I didn't think it was a movie. I think it cost $48 million to make this movie, and they wasted the whole bunch. I compare it to like a bunch of actresses traveling Europe, and that's probably where most of the money went, because the camera work was horrible. The fight scenes were horrible. Nothing was funny. Like these other Charlie's Angels movies blew this one out of the water. I don't know exactly what they were going for. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Joel thinks, the audience is maybe teenage girls. I agree. And there was some laughter in there from them, because they had like a high school cheerleading team in there. And no, seriously, they had like a junior high or a high school. Like they brought them to watch the movie with us. And most of them had their phones on, which the first time I ever seen a movie theater, girls walking in and out with their phones on. Phones were ringing. That's never happened in a screening with us. I mean, phones ring, but where they literally have their phones on. So maybe it is targeted to them. But I don't think they were even paying attention.
Yeah. So this film was I believe, written and directed by Elizabeth Banks. And
what else has she done? I'm curious.
I'm not sure if she's directed anything, but she's an actress that's been in tons and tons of movies. But
name one. See her. I'll let you talk. I'll find her right now.
She does mostly comedies. She's been in a lot of TV shows. I feel like I kind of know what she was trying for in this movie, and I don't know. I don't feel like she necessarily failed at what she was going after. But
oh man, I know she's the character in it.
Yeah. She plays the
one of the angels.
Bosley, their leader.
Oh man, she's way funnier than that.
Yeah, she does. She does.
She's
Well, she has
funny.
done a lot of comedy. So I think for me, the balance is where one of the problems I had is that they're focusing heavily on both comedy and the action. And I felt like they might have done better if they picked one or the other. If they had focused more on action, it would have made it more of a sort of a James Bond style movie. Or if they decided to go more comedy, but they have this kind of this split down the middle, and you get a little bit of comedy, a little bit of action, and it doesn't blend well together. And
the action was horrible and the comedy was horrible. That's why he thinks they're so equal, because they both were horrible. Like in a fight scene in a Charlie's Angels movie that we see last time, it was actually really good. It was exciting. These were instant cut clips where they're throwing a punch and then all of a sudden the other one's getting hit. They kept jumping. There was no actual fight. If they were jumping out of a car, you see them jump out of the car and then all of a sudden they would land. There was not one real stunt in this movie. The writing was horrible.
Typically with stunts like that, sometimes the actresses and actors and stuff will learn their own stunts to do. Now this one, I have to imagine they didn't learn their stunts, because that's why the editing was done in such a way to where you never have to see.
They didn't have to learn any stunts because there were no stunts. They cut them out. They would show like a girl like jumped off a tree, right? Like to jump off a tree to do like a kick or something. You would see the image of her foot on the tree, and then all of a sudden the kick is over with. They were chopping stuff. You never saw.
There were some hand-to-hand combat fights, close-ups and things that I feel like they had to, the actors.
But what they did on those is I thought, I mean, I think you saw, I'm not, he's a movie. Look, I know he knows a lot about everything, but what I saw was them doing trick for camera work. So you ever seen those movies when there's a fight scene and it's moving around so fast? Like the first, there was no fight scene. It was like, okay, go like that. Okay, next image. Next, do this. Next. It wasn't one fluid thing. It was multiple clips put together, and it was very, very frustrating. Dude, worst movie I've seen all year. Worst movie I've seen all year. I'm sorry. It was a waste of money. They could have put $48 million. They could have put in anything else and done so much better. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I think one of the reasons that the comedy didn't work as well as I think they were hoping for, especially because Elizabeth Banks is a comedian a lot of the times, is that there's the formula that most people are used to and that has worked since the comedy greats of back in the day, like Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello. There's the formula is that there's always the funny person and then the straight person, so that you get that contrast. You have somebody that's really goofy and then somebody that's very serious. And in this one, I think one of the problems is that all three main girls are all sort of comedy relief. Elizabeth Banks is comedy relief. Even some of the villains are comedy relief at times. So everybody plays comedy. Everybody acts a little silly at times. And then you don't get that contrast to make the comedic moments come out more. That for me, that was one
But nothing was funny.
Well, I mean, the audience, I heard people laughing in the
yeah,
audience.
those were little girls. I hate to say it.
Well,
they were 12-year-olds.
It would be hard to say that the movie wasn't marketed toward teenagers.
Like I said, I agree. I think it was. Charlie's Angels is beautiful women, actual really good action, stuff. This had pieces. I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. Pieces of it, but like compared to all our. When someone goes and sees this movie, if you guys go and see it, you're going to know exactly what I said. Well, this was not a Charlie's Angels movie. This was something totally different. Because
I think they were trying something different.
Yeah, they were trying to go backwards. I don't know what they were trying, because none of it flowed. I mean, it was like watching an amateur production. Like if I got a camera and I went out and said, okay, do this, cut, do this, that's what it was, but worse. I probably could have done better. That's how I feel.
And I haven't seen a lot of the original Charlie's Angels TV show, and I've only saw the one with Cameron Diaz. And
let me ask you this:
I've only seen that once.
The Cameron Diaz one, compared to them, the last one, right? The last couple, Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu and all them. Did this movie touch that? First question, you got to say, are those better than this? Action wise,
the
funny wise,
the previous movie I thought was terrible.
you thought the previous one was worse than this one?
Probably, yeah.
Oh my god!
And I'll tell you why.
Wow.
This is what I think is this is what I think their new approach is. And who knows, I might be off on this, but the original TV show and the movie, what it is it's the female spy, the female action hero from a male fantasy point of view. It's from a male perspective.
The old ones.
Yes, yeah, it's what they think men want to see with the female spy characters. This one is done from a woman's aspect, a woman's point of view, and I think this follows more along with maybe what women want to see in a female-oriented spy movie.
I guess, but if women want to be badass, you know, if a woman say, "Okay, it's just Charlie Angel, I want to make her badass and stuff," they failed.
Yeah, I think they definitely had it was a little too heavy-handed. I think to be more effective, the movie should show you that these female characters are badass, not just keep telling you over and over again that they should be. That
yeah, they don't do anything special at all.
I think that's the problem. One of the problems is they just basically are telling you, reiterating over and over, "Oh, these characters are so badass, aren't they? Look." But in reality, we want to see that they're doing something cool. We want to see that they're strong, powerful characters.
Yeah, that wasn't there. That's why when I say the other Charlie's Angels were better, because visually it was stimulating. The comedy was funny. I really can't believe that what's her name she wrote it or just directed?
I think I saw that she wrote and directed it. Yeah.
Because she's funny.
Yeah, she's a comedian.
Not today. So I don't want to make this video really long. I can tell you, he says she directed. I just absolutely hated it. Like, I'm not going to even give a 1 out of 10. That's how bad. Go see it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was I wrong? Maybe I'm seeing things. I tried to enjoy it. I just could not. There was one funny part in the movie. Professor X.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. He had a guy in a closet. He had been holding hostage in a closet, right? The whole time. And then he lets the guy out. And he's like, he was in there the whole time. And he laughed. And that was funny. That was it. And that joke's been played before a million times before. Yeah. None of things the girls said at all were funny.
I think it's simply because they were trying too hard. They're just,
even if you try hard though, you should hit on a joke.
Yeah, but as I said, people were laughing in the theater. I think
they weren't people, dude. They were implant aliens. Dude, I'm sorry. What was the middle? I'm sorry, I don't know all the actors. The girl in the middle, actress on the pictures.
Oh, Balinski, I think her name. Yeah, Ella Balinska.
Ella
Balinska.
I really enjoy. Are you sure? I don't think that's her.
Well, as playing Jane.
Was that the girl in the tough girl?
The tall girl.
Yeah, she was actually pretty good. But then,
well, all of the characters are written a little lackluster. They don't. They all get these kind of one-liners, and they purposely made Kristen Stewart seem overly annoying. They should have made that a little more organic and just had her say whatever's on her mind, but not so much that you start to hate it that she's doing that.
The girl on the bottom, sorry guys, I don't remember her name, but she was
Naomi Scott. She was
the best actress in this movie. She actually played her part, but everyone else was struggling. I'm telling you, it was like they gave a bunch of people money and said, go travel the world and make this silly movie. And that's what they did.
It happens sometimes. I'm not sure if that's what happened with this one, but
the shots of like all the different countries and them on a boat, that stuff was probably the most expensive stuff in the movie because the action scenes were in warehouses and stupid stuff. It was just ridiculous. And it was not funny. It was not entertaining. It was the worst movie I've seen this year. And we've seen a lot of bad movies. He said one, but at least it was like visually stimulating. This was the worst movie I've ever seen. Ever. This is the worst movie I've ever seen, dude.
That's impressive, actually, because I know you've seen a lot of films.
And I'm not a movie critic.
Yeah, this was not by a long shot the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, I'm sure he's seen worse. Trust me, I'm sure I've seen worse too. But this was the worst movie I've seen this year. with hands down, without a doubt. And I've seen like 50 movies now. I mean, it's getting ridiculous how many movies I've seen this year with these guys. Anyway, this went way too long. If you want to see detailed written reviews on every movie you could possibly think of, go to gonewiththetwins.com. They're excellent. Throw me a comment if you guys get pulled into this by your teenage daughters. Come back, type in here, oh my gosh, you were right. Or have your teenage daughter say, "Hell, you suck, Billy." Besides that, I appreciate you taking me.
Thanks for having me back.
Super poop. That's how I'm giving this. I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. I've never done that before. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, and we'll see you later. Okay, thanks again. We'll see. What do we have? What do we got? We have something next week?
Oh, I'm not taking you any more movies.
Oh, I'm not going anymore. All right, later, guys.